We'll begin the fiscal year with the unrestricted general reserve, which we always carry over, $545,000, which is assigned. So you can see where it's assigned, to the pool, to the community center, to parking lots and pathways, and for park equipment, playgrounds primarily. As a general rule, we want to always have 20% of our operating budget in reserves. Our operating budget is roughly $3 million, so we're always going to want to carry a reserve of about $600,000. That's the rainy day funds. And so that would leave us about $945,000 that we can dedicate towards projects for next fiscal year out of the general fund. Moving to OLAD, current fiscal year, we carried a fund balance of $512,000. We budgeted $328 of that for capital improvements, but we're likely to spend under $65,000. That leaves $263,000 unspent funds to carry over into next fiscal year for identified projects. For next fiscal year, conservatively, I'm estimating beginning the fiscal year with a fund balance of about $454,000. We'll begin the fiscal year with a general reserve of $311,000. That's also a number that's been carried over the years. This, however, is not assigned. We can, as a board, we can assign that $311,000 to certain things if we wish. So we want to hold, again, about 20% of the operating budget in OLAD in our reserves. That's about $110,000. So our total funds available from OLAD moving into next fiscal year is about $650,000.
For the record, Eureka has arrived.
I got it. Thank you.
And
Take over, you got it.
just a comment on that, you don't want to carry too much funds available. Roseville tried to do that, and they ended up getting in a lawsuit, and were told to either lower the OLAB costs or...
I thought our budget for the pool was like 600,000.
No.
So whatever we're carrying over is getting used up.
Right, so if there's a purpose for it, you can
Right.
carry a
Yeah, we're
reserve.
carrying it over because we didn't spend it this
Right.
year.
All right,
I know what you mean, though. Thanks, Mike.
yeah, we just...
Yeah, it's
a
there,
little
it's there to
different-
spend
It's a
on the
little
community.
different than a general fund.
It is. Correct. And Eureka, just so you know where we are, this is like, I think we have the handout in front of you. I want to say this is like page 6. Eureka and Manny, they've been exposed to about 75% of this already at our maintenance meeting a couple weeks ago. So we'll move on to in lieu fees. So every year we accumulate some in lieu fees. A lot of this is related to new development. And since Orangevale doesn't have a lot of new development, this fund, we normally get about $10,000 a year added to this fund. In lieu fees do not have many restrictions. They can be spent on new facilities, they can be spent on maintenance of existing facilities. There's quite a bit of leeway with in lieu fees. So we carried a $173,000 fund balance into this current fiscal year. We budgeted $120,000 of that for the pool project, but this will likely be unspent because of the delays. Just so you know, this $120,000 was also part of that $720,000 in the general fund. I don't want to double dip, but this is just so you know. This in lieu fees are already, some of them are accounted for. In the upcoming fiscal year, 23-24, conservatively estimating that we'll start with a fund balance of $183,000. You take away that $120,000 that's already accounted for, that will leave us about $63,000 of in lieu funds that we can assign to other projects. Now we're going to park development fees. Park development fees are also part of new development. Park development fees, we accumulate at a higher rate than the in lieu fees. And with the park development fees, we normally, about an average year, we get about $60,000 plus. We carried a balance of 467,000 into this fiscal year. We budgeted $100,000 for the driveway trail project, but will unlikely spend any of this fiscal year because of the delays. Yes, Mike?
Didn't we already pay for some of the project, that didn't come out of this?
Correct. It didn't come out of the park development fees, but you're right. We did spend about $20,000 on the trail project already and about $60,000 on the pool project.
And
Mostly,
that came out of the general fund, or?
yes,
Okay.
almost entirely. So park development fees moving into next fiscal year. Conservatively, we're estimating a starting fund balance of $515,000. You take away the $100,000 that's already accounted for in the general fund projects, and that leaves us an additional $415,000 to contribute to future projects. Just wanted to note here that park development fees can only be allocated to new facilities, development, and property. It's not for maintenance or replacement of existing facilities. Much more restrictions on the park development fees. But it's going to be good to consider this,
I got
this batch
Could we
of,
put that towards restrooms and/or park equipment?
we could put it towards the restrooms if we put a new restroom building at Almond,
Okay.
but we couldn't do it to replace the existing restrooms.
What about,
Like at Pecan.
Right, Pecan, we couldn't use this.
Right.
I know, but what about play equipment?
So,
If it was an existing play equipment, we couldn't. If it was a new, all right.
correct. So, summary, so these are the funds that we have available to us. And if we use all these funds, we will maintain a 20% fund balance reserve in our general fund and in our OLAD. As you'll see, I didn't include Kenneth Grove because that is too small of a pot of money, and it's earmarked for that specific area. So this is a page you might want to keep in front of you. We're going to be referring back to this.
That's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money, and especially when you see how many projects we want to do and how much that is going to cost us.
Well, how much of that is already dedicated to the pool?
Good you ask that. Next screen.
It's on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that page.
So-
The one that-
What have we already committed to? Yeah, page 12. 967,000 is what we've committed to. So it's the pool, and that pool number is minus what we've already spent. And that's assuming the pool is going to cost us the full amount that, I think we're estimating high. Out of that pool, 400,000 general fund, 228,000 OLAD, and 120,000 in lieu fees. Driveway trails project, 204,000 of that, 34,000 general fund, 70,000 OLAD, 100,000 park development fees. Mind you, this is also being funded $200,000 by grants. So the total project is add 200,000 to that is what the total cost of the project is. But the park development fees, this is an area where we can potentially move money.
I got a question on the
Yeah.
trail. So we're going to spend roughly 200,000 on the trail,
The driveway.
driveway trail, excuse me.
Combined.
But we're going to get that back. We're going to get the $200,000 back that could go back into these funds?
No, this 204,000 is money that's coming out of our funds. In addition to that, we're getting $200,000 from the state.
So the whole project will be,
400,000, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's-
Yeah,
it's-
about 400.
It costs more than that.
okay.
But this whole project, or darn near this whole project, would qualify under park development fees because it's new facilities. And so we could take that 34,000 from general, the 70,000 from OLAD, and roll that into park development fees. That would allow more flexibility with that 104,000 to put into other items. So that's something just to keep in mind. We had 415 roughly of park development fees. Take another 105 out of that. Then we're down to like 310 that we can use for.
We put that down as a footnote. Those are really good numbers to consider. I think that's
Yeah,
something
can
you
you-
can
you
look
know
at and say, okay,
What screen is this, 13?
12.
12, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be important on the last page of this, this presentation. And then there's Arcade Cripple Creek Trail, which is the $15,000 that we've already committed to spending for the boulders and the posted cable fencing.
And getting rid of the concrete too.
Yes, that's part of that too, thank you. Yeah. Now looking at deferred maintenance. The main purpose for showing this, one, it's good to know, but two, you're going to see a lot of these items that are on the deferred maintenance list also on our future project list. And if they're on a deferred maintenance list, it probably means the priority's pretty high. Swimming pool repairs, which is great, we're going to finish those. That's going to reduce our deferred maintenance by $800,000. Replacing the HVAC units, there's 10 that are, yes, Mike?
But we don't have to replace all 10 at the same time.
Correct. Yeah, all of this is, we don't have to, correct.
And they're approximately 40,000 each, or is that,
Yeah, 47,000 average
okay?
apiece, yeah,
So we could replace one a year or two if we had to.
Yeah.
But does that put a drain on the new ones from the old ones not being as
Start.
yeah,
efficient?
that's,
It might. Yeah, I mean, I would rather just get them all done, but it's a big chunk of change. So we can think about how we want to do that. Could be in pairs, or we
Half
could
1 year, half another?
do that potentially.
For 3 or 4 years.
But for now, let's just keep that in mind. We're going to get to this in a little
All
bit.
right.
good idea.
Community center roof, big item. These are listed in order of expenditures. Replacing the disc golf restrooms, disc golf soil erosion, addressing those problems in the tee boxes. Again, a lot of these, they can be done in piecemeal fashion, so we don't have to spend it all at once. Pecan restrooms, Almond Park playground structure, replacing that. Renovating the horse arena restrooms, renovating the Oak Filbert restrooms. Youth Center Park concrete and ADA work. Kids Corner roof, Youth Center roof, and then the Almond Park playground surfacing. All things that are past their useful life expectancy.
I just need some clarification. So I have the funds available on the projects.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 63,000 in new. But I'm looking over here, and we're gonna take 120,000 from it. So to me, that doesn't balance out.
Oh, the 120,000 has already been
Allocated?
allocated in the general fund.
Okay.
Yeah, it was during a transfer that allowed us to assign funds.
Because it just was like, can't take 120 from 60.
No, good question. That's,
Okay.
I just didn't want to double account for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to potentially add another restroom at the Filbert and Oak. Is that 9, or is that just,
That was part of the master plan, which we've kind of backburnered since
Okay.
we're not getting that funding. Yeah, there were a lot of things on the master plan that we discussed last July.
'cause yeah, all
that-
right, never mind.
Yeah, I think right now we're focusing more on,
What we need to do.
keeping what we currently have in good repair before adding too much new
Like roofs?
facilities, yeah, right. Okay,
AC
so
units and
that's the
roofs?
deferred maintenance part. And now capital replacement schedules. Really hard to see on the screen. You're probably better off looking at the sheet in front of you. I'll explain these. We have 4 capital replacement schedules that I'm going to review quickly. The first is the pool. If you look across the top, you'll see the years. Just so you know, those years reflect the first year of fiscal year. So, for example, 2020 is for fiscal year 2020-21. If it's highlighted in yellow and has a line through it, that means it was budgeted for but not spent. If it's highlighted in blue, it means money was spent on that item in that fiscal year. And then if it's highlighted in yellow but does not have a line through it, then it's money that's been budgeted for future fiscal years. Those two columns that are in gray are years that we got professional estimates on those items. And then there's numbers that aren't highlighted at all.
350.
That's future forecasting for inflation on what those items might cost in future years. So for the pool, you'll see that not a whole lot has been spent on the pool in the last 10, 12 years. But we're going to change that. But you'll see also, once we spend what we're planning on spending,
The
There's-
inflation cost is,
there's a lot of costs ahead.
oh my gosh.
Filtration, boiler, things like that are going to be pretty pricey down the road. The next sheet is playgrounds. Playgrounds, we haven't addressed much. Our crew is great. They do the playground safety inspections on a regular basis. If parts of playgrounds need to be repaired or replaced, we're doing that. What's great is playgrounds used to last 15 years. Now they're lasting 25 is a pretty safe bet. And most playground manufacturers have pieces that you can interchange. So if a piece goes bad, you can replace that piece.
that's good.
That's what we've been doing. And, but, we're getting to the point where a couple of our playgrounds really do need to be replaced entirely. Parking lots. It was April of 2019, it was fiscal year 18-19. We spent quite a bit of money on resurfacing a number of our parking lots. Our district has a great history of keeping up on parking lots, and really happy about that, want to maintain that. So what we're looking for is potentially doing some of our parking lots next fiscal year and doing the rest the following fiscal year. We can even break it into 3 fiscal years to make it more manageable.
I have a question on the yellow.
Yeah.
Those are anticipated increased value.
Yeah, I think that reflects the increases.
Okay. Because I noticed they're different, which would account for, makes sense if we go up.
Some that were real expensive in the past were because the parking lot was in such disrepair, it needed a lot of extra work. You'll see the same with sports courts. I think that's on the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, sports courts. This one, I don't have all the information. I added what I know. I know that we did have, I just found out, Pecan was, the pickleball courts were added in 2016. And that's not reflected on this, but
It's been that long?
right?
Wow.
Just realized they're about
I thought it was
No.
More
later,
recent?
like 18 or 19, but
Well, it
wow.
was,
Hazel was 2021.
right, that was, Barry was here when that.
Yeah.
and then
Wow.
Greg was here when we did, I don't think, you weren't here, Ross, no.
Not for pecan, so it was
Right.
done a couple of years prior to we started.
Okay.
So,
So,
I didn't mean to get us off track. I
That's
just,
okay.
it's like, okay.
But sports courts, yeah, let's look at, Community Park is a good example. When we did that project in 2020, 2021, it was $30,000, and that's because those courts were in such bad shape. They needed a total resurface.
plus we put lights, was that include the lights or not?
That doesn't include the lights.
no, it was just the new pickleball courts and the resurfacing and adding
Drinking
an
fountain?
additional mesh to bond the resurfacing of it. So it was like a crack repair and a resurface.
And did that include the drinking fountain, or is
No.
that separate? No, that's just the courts, all right.
It's the courts.
That was another
All right.
6,000.
Yeah, the lights weren't that much. They were, surprisingly. So probably even a better example is Almond Park. That was another one that was a pretty expensive fix back in 2019 because the courts were in bad shape. But moving forward, from 25,000 to 9,000, when we go to resurface those because they're now in good shape, as long as we stay on top of it, it shouldn't cost nearly as much. So that's the replacement schedules. Gives you an idea of where we've kind of been lacking on spending, holding back. Now this is the final, roughly the final half hour. I was hoping to have at least a half an hour for this alone, and we will. So prioritizing the capital projects. I listed 18 projects with the help of the maintenance committee, the planning committee, Horacio, staff in general. We got a list of 18 projects that we feel are, somewhat urgent, towards the front burner. The ones that are highlighted on the left, those are also included in the deferred maintenance. So you can kind of look at those as being, extra urgent from a maintenance perspective. I already prioritized 1, 2, and 3 because we've already committed to those. The swimming pool, the driveway, and finishing off our obligation with the Arcade Creek Trail
And
project.
then on the swimming pool, you said you thought that, we're hoping won't be that much.
On the what?
The swimming pool,
Correct, yes.
we're hoping. We won't know until it's done.
I'm hoping we get good news on both those projects to where we'll have an extra, whatever, $100,000 to put towards other projects.
And on the driveway, you're thinking that might be high, or you don't have a feeling for that?
The driveway, it's depends on how many of the add alternates we want to go with. And the good thing about those add alternates in that whole project, we can use the park development fees for those, where we can't use those on a lot of other projects. So, as far as the add alternates, we may want to use that money on those, we may not. Depends on what the committee wants, what the board wants. So anyway, as far as we can go through these one at a time to, I included 3 columns for priority because I figure we might be taking a couple swipes at this, or you might be changing your mind as we go along. But
I don't think we have enough money to change our
It's like,
mind.
let's just go from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, let's start with the cheapest ones first.
I mean,
well,
I'm already crossing some off.
can I just bring up just an option as well, so we're not dipping into all these funds. The roof, the solar, and the HVAC.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's just say we spend $350 on the roof, and we finance the rest. Let's say we finance roughly $800,000 for the solar panels and the HVAC units. Just rough math, that would also qualify for that subsidy, the Inflation Reduction Act subsidy that Jeff Land was here to present last board meeting. Sure, interest rates have gone up. It'll cost us more to borrow money, but it should be offset a lot by the subsidies. Right now, we're paying $68,000 a year to pay back the loan for the new property. That was roughly $1 million loan. If let's say we borrow $800,000, it would be roughly a, $55,000 loan that we're paying back. $55,000 that we're paying back each year. Would that be money better spent to protect our envelope of this building than, just knowing that we're going to be paying that in future years? The good news, though, is after about 10 years of that, we'll start generating revenue. It's going to be paying us back because of the money we're going to be generating, or the money we're saving on SMUD and PG&E costs.
And on top of that, we get a percentage back on that.
Correct.
Capital loan about 30%,
It would be about 25%.
Up to
25%.
25.
25% if we do it this fiscal year, if we start the project, complete the project within 2024. If we start the project in 2024 and it's completed after that, then it's going to be a little less than 25%, or probably between 20 and 25%, but still nice.
So it makes sense for us to make that decision rather quickly, so we do get it started and completed before the end of '24.
It would. It would save us, roughly 5%.
Yeah,
If we
which is a
want-
lot when you're talking $1 million or 800,000.
Right.
That's quite a bit, so.
If we wanted to wrap the roof into that, it's a bigger loan, it's a bigger payoff, but, you know, it would also benefit us. But I feel like if we could afford the roof, and that would bring down our obligation.
So we spend money to save money.
Yeah, I'm concerned because isn't there two different alternatives
Yes,
to doing the roof?
there is. The other is a power purchase
Solar,
agreement.
Yeah, and then there's the loan, and I'm hesitant to do another loan. We're in debt for $1 million, and
Yeah,
I'm not inclined to add any more obligations for the future.
well, and plus,
I'm just
we
not, I'm
still
not
have,
willing to go there.
we could start it next year and still qualify for some of the, so we've got.
Right,
Yeah, I want some time to think about that.
Yeah.
I need to wrap
Yeah.
my head around
Yeah.
those alternatives, and I almost think we need another workshop, because I'm
Yeah.
not convinced one way or another to do.
Right.
Like, once we figure out specifically what we want, have the workshop to address those items.
Yeah, and we
Good
should.
idea.
Yeah,
real good idea.
It makes sense
It's
that
worth
we would.
thinking
We should.
about.
I want to make an intelligent decision, yeah.
Well, but I'm with Sharon and Erika that another, say, $60,000 that we'll have to come up to pay for that loan.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not,
a-
I'm real
I'm a
uncomfortable
little
with the
hesitant.
loan.
It'd be one thing if we had a new lighting and landscape, or,
Yeah, if we had
or
funds,
if we
right.
had funds available to us, it'd be a really good idea.
But just
I
as,
mean, we're gonna have to do it eventually anyway.
yeah,
And
I just
I
think the
personally,
timing's not right.
if we're gonna do a new roof, I'd rather get solar at the same time.
That does make sense.
That makes sense.
But I think we need to do research thoroughly.
Right.
yeah, there are options, and the good thing is, like I said, after about 10 years of paying that 68,000, we start going from the red to the black. So things do turn for the good, because we're creating green energy.
But after 10 years, are the panels still gonna, because, I mean, you
Yeah.
put the panels down there and,
Yeah.
I think
What's their
that's a
lifespan?
workshop all in itself,
Yeah, the
right?
panels. Yeah, the panels are like 30-year lifespan, and
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
research and
So
All right, so we-
I would like to cross off the roof for this go-around for next fiscal year until we come up with.
so we think the
our
roof's
preferred
okay for
alternative.
at least another 2
make it in
years?
another year? I don't know.
we have another season, another winter like we did last
Yeah, I don't
winter.
know.
Yeah,
We're starting to worry about what is it doing to, you know.
We were worried about that in 2019.
I heard we were worried about that the year it was built.
Yes. Having been there,
you haven't
yes.
been there yet.
Right, yeah, there was,
That bad company, I won't say the name.
yeah, whatever. We won't say their name.
We'll postpone it, to maybe add to the budget once we've done other more analysis on it and research. But just for this next fiscal year budget, let's put that one on hold. Do we want to?
I don't know about
Yeah, I
that.
feel like we should.
Oh, just put it in as the budget, the 350?
I think it's something that needs to be,
We have to address it.
we've Band-Aided.
Yeah.
They've taken good care in nursing that along, and we've been talking about this for many, many years and I think we're pushing our luck if we
Yeah.
go any
All right,
further.
then, let's make that priority number 4.
But I agree with you, it's, we need to research and see what some more of our
Right, we'll put
options
the
are.
350 in the budget and then figure out our alternatives to pay for it.
Yeah.
If we pay for it out of our
Yeah, let's
funds or not.
Yeah.
Well,
at least give it some serious
Because we don't have
consideration.
a roof, we don't have rentals, we don't have classes, we don't have a lot of things.
And the roof can
So-
only stand so much
The only thing they
bubble
can do
gum.
is swim in our new pool,
and
all
then,
winter long. Polar bear plunge, here we go.
Some of the low-hanging fruit that I feel like we really want to do anyway, the continuing with the concrete work at Community Park.
Right.
which letter is that?
That's O,
Oh, H?
O,
No, that's
H,
youth
no,
center.
O,
Oh,
O.
it's O. It's $20,000. We, 2 years ago, we agreed to put roughly $20,000 in for the following 3 years to replace some sections that are becoming somewhat potential trip hazards.
Yeah, we talked
ended up
about
having to add
that.
another year because there's more.
Maybe. But one more year anyway.
And
would be
can I
good.
interject to say that we've used more than half of our time? Just
Thank you.
Wherever you're
Yeah.
at, we're
Yeah,
just,
that's
I
great.
think we're in a good place.
We
We're
are.
just announcing that.
Thank you.
Well, I think we can go to low-hanging fruit if we can come up with a potential decision on the HVAC and just do 50% in the next fiscal year? Or like Mike said, one-third? One-third, one-third, one-third?
Yeah, if we do 3 or 4 units, that would
Well, how
be
many do we have? We have 10 units?
10 units that are way past their prime.
So we can
Do a
do,
third?
well, we can do more than one. We can do 4 1 year or whatever.
Four and two?
Or
Yeah,
4, 2 and 1.
We have two
or-
units that are large, so the
Huh?
ones for the gym, they are the largest, so that will be the most costly.
So maybe we do those first,
The
the
other
largest
ones are
first.
there you
smaller.
go.
How many are those?
So out of those, from I don't know, they can also chime in. The one at the office, the one at the here for this meeting room, and then the one for the gym are kind of up there on the.
Well, wouldn't it make sense for us to
That's
do
it.
that if we're gonna replace our roof? Right?
So I talked to the roof guys, and they said it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
The timing, they can work around it.
But I
Because
think,
that's on the flat part of the roof, which is not an
What
issue.
matters on the
Those-
roof is that you leave it ready for solar if we are willing to
Okay.
invest in the future, and that is not a high cost when they do it.
I think we should do the community center. Because again, that's,
I thought the 10 units are just here, not that the activity building is fairly new.
yeah, just here, the
Right.
three here, because that's rental money. That's
Right.
people, that's rental
Right,
money.
and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
I was asking them that. and
So I would say the
still
three here.
A unit down, talking about rental, we don't have a heater in.
Building 2. Building 2 needs, but that one's a smaller unit. I don't think it'll be
Right,
as
I'm
expensive.
just throwing
That's
it
a
out
good
there
point.
too as another need because there's no heater, so renting it out in the wintertime makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
consider that next winter.
All right, so,
Three would be 141,000, sorry to interrupt.
that's okay.
So the three would be 141?
141.
That's
So
if they're all
we did
large, yeah.
add three, and we said
And we
that
did
we were
all
doing the
here.
roof. That brings us to a total of 149,000, I'm sorry, 1,496,000. So basically 1.5.
And
To
that's
do the
pretty
roof.
much what my comfort level was.
And that's for 1, 2, 3, the roof, and
Right.
3 of the HVACs.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah,
the
those
next-
are, two of those items are real expensive.
Okay.
The lower expensive ones,
The low-hanging fruit, those are easy. Check those off as yeses.
I would like to, so yeah, the $5,000 one for the shade structure, the shade structure is going to be more like 25,000, but we're leveraging a grant with Rotary for that. So it would be our contribution, would be roughly 5,000, maybe not even that.
Okay, because that is when I struck off. So, but I didn't know about the grant, because there is no way that the rentals from the farmer's market and their bands and boothing even contributes to
Right.
putting up a shade structure.
Yeah.
So if there's a grant involved, then
Right.
I'd be more open to that, but
Great.
why don't we get rid of the bridge at Pecan Park?
yeah,
I mean,
I marked that one off too.
And so the bridge is, I'm sorry, you crossed it off?
Yeah, because we've done that
Postpone that
several
one, is that what you're saying?
times.
yeah, because, I mean, I'd like to have it, then we,
Right.
but there's other stuff that wouldn't be a trail, and so it's just,
Right.
I
Yeah,
crossed off the disc golf erosion and T-ball.
me too.
In that one,
Well-
we can piecemeal.
If they've got people that are with the club and want to come do some work,
well,
then
it's getting.
maybe we can contribute.
Well,
but-
and maybe their club fees that they collect for when they play can contribute to some of that.
It's getting pretty bad. We need, either we start closing down some of the holes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Not making
there's,
us any money.
but they also have talented people who might be able to provide services, in-kind, services and through their club, and if we could partner up with them, we
We
could
would
do some.
partner, but
Yeah.
not to the tune of 250,000.
So, I'm sorry,
I was gonna
Enrique,
say, I remember we talked about the possibility of obtaining.
Pay to play?
backfill,
Oh.
which would
Yeah.
have no cost to us.
right,
We
right,
can do that.
yes,
We were supposed to bring back the pay-to-play
yeah,
concept.
In October.
I scratched the disc golf.
So we don't scratch it off, we'll explore that
Well,
option.
We can do it probably much less, would do a couple holes per year. It'll cost much less. Director Perez brought up at the maintenance committee meeting that pool companies often have soil that they're looking to get rid of because they're digging up soil. So I think it was SMUD too, SMUD when they're,
Water companies.
water companies, thank you, it was water companies, not SMUD.
But we need to inspect it because on hole 13, somebody did that, somebody from the disc golf club, and there was all sorts of concrete in it. So,
It wasn't good quality soil.
Yeah, it has to be dirt only,
So,
good dirt.
Field dirt.
one of the
Yeah.
things I think we should do is Kids Corner needs a new roof.
Bit
I mean, those
badly.
kids,
Are you
that's the
moving- Are you moving
school.
away from the
Kids
soil
Corner
now?
took
I
a
mean,
toll.
Yeah, I marked off the soil. I need those, I don't want to worry about those kids having a leaky roof.
You
What
know,
about falling in the hole?
I know, but we're not,
Well, that's the golfers. My husband can fall in a hole, who
Kids
cares?
Corner, what about the youth
Actually,
center?
Can you scratch that?
Center's still in reasonable
It'll
condition.
survive? Okay,
Kids Corner is it's a higher priority.
okay.
Okay.
I'm
We
putting a check
lost a
mark
few
for that.
shingles with the last few windstorms, and it does, I mean.
Yeah, and we have activities at the youth center that roof needs to be, so those,
I think the roof can wait a year. The Kids Corner is pretty urgent. The roof company looked at it and they said it's, yeah, the roofing paper is pretty much transparent now.
oh my.
so let's,
You can see
what,
the wood on
well, we do need to do some of the parking lots. That is,
Yes, thank you.
I would start, let's see, what do we need to do?
Parking lots, I agree. And I don't think,
D is all except for here, 95,000. Do we want to commit to all but here?
I think we can reduce that to 55,000 and
And do
No.
park?
Okay,
I brought up that instead of doing it over 2 years, let's do it over 3 years. And if that's conceivable, I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, last time we did about 3/4 or 2/3 of parking areas. We didn't do Almond or Pecan
well, we have
or Youth
Almond,
Center.
what is the tot lot resurfacing?
That's the playground.
Oh, okay,
Cushion, like we
Okay.
have out here.
Oh,
okay, I just was,
Almond? Yeah, that's the playground resurfacing.
okay, playground, okay.
So, I mean,
Rubberized.
if you want to do, and maybe it's not practical, but split the resurfacing into thirds or whatever's,
Yeah, hit those
Wait, but I thought we
few
wanted
that we
to
didn't get
replace
last time.
Almond at some point.
Yeah,
so why would
we can start with the
resurface?
ones that we didn't get a couple of years ago, and then revolve to the ones that we did perhaps in the next fiscal year.
right, and then we can save this parking lot and down there
For-
for all,
for the end,
for all
for the
at
third
the
year.
end.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, or is that?
Potentially, or
Well,
break it up
potentially,
into
yeah, I
three
mean-
chunks of 50,000.
As you can see, there's few areas that are really cracked that we should kind of attend. I mean, we could probably do an in-house repair on some of those.
No, that's just, you're talking
Meaning
here
just
or
here.
down?
In Community Park as well, there's some alligator cracking that's happening. If you drive through them, like as you go out,
Right.
you'll see two right off the bat. One on the upper and one on the lower. But, I mean, us as a staff can come up with a priority list and put two options. One, 50/50, and then the other will be in thirds. That'll be reasonable.
But still, for this next fiscal budget.
Just because
we
of
can- we
the
can put in
bigger projects that we
55,000.
have on hand, pool and then possibly the roof.
Yeah, I think that's 55,000 to put in.
55,000, throw it in the budget.
And then
If we-
see how much we can
right,
get with the
right,
current pricing.
Right.
So what
That
is,
sounds reasonable.
we have, the ADA work, how crucial is that? I mean,
We do need to continue to show
Right,
that
we have
we're
to be showing-
employed. We have to do,
I know, but I mean,
well,
we're not discussing it, so that's why I'm asking.
Partly a safety concern
I
too.
would put that as a
Yeah.
check, yes, the 50,000.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
putting check marks.
that's what I have.
we need to do it because me and Manny
then
walked it,
ADA.
and it's,
It needs it.
there's some, we could be in
Are you gonna
lawsuits.
be able to pull up a spreadsheet, Jennifer, at the end with our totals?
Yes?
This is mainly for
can
the
give you my
raised
cheat
area of the youth center
By the ball field,
Hard
right?
concrete by the ball field.
Okay.
It's a tripping hazard. I mean, part of it's gonna be removing some of the trees, but
Yeah, it only takes one accident.
At this point, I only have two that I haven't figured a cross-through, a reduction or a check, is the public restroom, is the con.
so, all right,
Remodel.
replace playground at Almond Community Park. I think we can, you want to put that on the back burner?
Yeah, I crossed that one out.
Yeah.
I did not get a
Yep, I
concrete.
crossed out
yes
that
or no.
150.
Well, and only want to do that shade structure if by, we get a grant.
Yes,
We're getting
Please.
15,000.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
Can't pass that up.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
So what
Yeah,
have
I
we
crossed
got?
out
New
the
roof at
150.
Kids Corner, new roof at Youth Center.
You guys want to hear what we have in the total?
Yes.
Okay. Pool, pathway, the Arcade Creek,
All right,
that's
okay.
guaranteed. The roof, 3 of the HVACs.
Roof at this building.
Right.
Yes.
The roof here,
The
350.
the shade structure, because we're getting a grant. The KK roof, 55,000 of the parking lots, and 50,000 of ADA work.
Right.
I went ahead and threw a negative 104,000 because we could pull 34 and 70 from the driveway project from park development, which we talked about earlier. Because
Okay.
they're new projects, Barry said that they would qualify, and that's on page,
12, I think.
I should have put which page it was on.
That's okay.
Oh,
And
park
that is-
development, it was the new.
It's the screen that's up there, capital projects.
Oh, the one that's up there?
Yeah, up on the screen.
And as far as the driveway,
So page 12, sorry to interrupt, page 12 has the 3 that we've committed to, and item B is the driveway.
Trail.
And 1 and 2, since the driveway is new, Barry said he believes that 1 and 2, we could keep the money in general and OLAD and pull that 104,000 from park development.
Okay.
and I would like to do as many of the add-ons as we can do, because then this whole park will have trails all around it, as many as we can fit in.
Where are we at? What did you say we were at?
Oh, I didn't yet. So the
Okay.
grand total, including using that 104, so I'm subtracting that from this total.
Okay.
Is 1,542,000.
Oh, we didn't go that far.
But did you, I didn't hear you say the kids' corner roof.
Yes.
Yes, Kids Corner roof,
Kids' corner roof?
55,000 for parking lots and 50,000 for ADA.
Okay.
What I didn't get an answer on, or we didn't hear a concrete answer on the concrete.
On
At
what?
Youth Center, ball field.
The
No, I thought we said
ADA?
yes to
Oh,
the
that was
ADA work.
ADA. I was-
The
that was
50,000.
confusing.
We said yes to the ADA.
Oh,
Right.
I
We should
thought,
include
I was
that.
talking about O at the community park.
Oh,
Oh, that's the concrete pathway.
Earlier on, you brought up that 20,000, and
Yes.
then
Right,
the
we're-
conversation went somewhere else.
We're going to continue that.
Yeah, we
wasn't
said yes to that 20,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got
you
a
said
check mark
yes to
on
that.
that.
Yes.
Okay, I did not hear that for sure.
Okay, so my question is, we're over $1 million, correct?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
My
1.5.
question is,
Well, if she
where are we
adds
going
on
to,
the
where are we
the
going to pay,
concrete,
how are we
now
going to
it's
pay
gonna-
for it?
1.6.
We got the money?
Yeah, we do have the money. We have over 2 million, but I don't want to go that far.
Right.
1.5 was about my comfort level.
I think we got to rethink some things. I'd like to be a little under 1.5, just
Yeah.
So
for,
I
Everything
guess,
I
We're
know,
doing like liability stuff.
I
at this
know.
point.
can we put the new roof towards the back? Because
No,
depending on how
we
the
need
pool and
roof.
it comes out,
One of the HVACs.
we'll have more money available to us.
We need it. We'll lose money. We
Well-
will lose money.
We could put
And that was just
asterisks next to a few of these. We'll do these if
Yeah, 104.
the pool, some of those expenses are lower than we anticipate.
Can we maybe take a, well, no, I don't want to rob
Yeah,
Peter to
So, I
pay
mean,
Paul.
one of
Never
the
Big
mind.
ones.
So I can see us doing the roof and not worrying about the air conditioning units until they break.
No,
Well,
no.
No,
well, then,
We can't, we've been lucky. We've been lucky.
Let's just go with, I say that 1.5 sounds good.
No, we're at
We're at-
1.6.
We're at
Yeah,
1.6.
we're at 1,562,000, so we're 62,000 over. Maybe could we cut back just a little bit on a couple things, like a little bit less parking lots, a little bit less ADA, a little bit less concrete?
We can't on the ADA, that is not,
But
Okay.
the
The
parking lot
ADA is-
repair, let's go 35 on the parking lot repair.
Well,
Is that bad?
it's, you gotta get somebody to,
can we split the
think we-
ADA into 2 years?
We could,
Because if we're working on it and doing our due diligence to complete we should still be in compliance.
You need to take a look at it, though.
it's some of that stuff, once you start, you're gonna,
Yeah, you're gonna have to go through with it if you start it, because it's not a little piece here, little piece there. It's the whole floor, the whole cement flooring.
It's on the list, but not on this list.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Kids Corner is on that list, right? Okay, good.
So instead.
If you take a look
you
at
said
it, you
how
get a
many of
different
the-
impression.
How many of the air conditioning units?
We have to do all 3 here, Mike.
Yeah,
We
we
just
gotta do the
do.
3.
Our staff
The
needs to
3's
be
a hundred
comfortable, and
1,000.
we have to have, for the rentals, I mean,
I would say at least 2, just because we have had trouble with those quite a bit.
All right, all right, let's go down to 2 then.
And how much is
And
that,
then after
120?
that, you would have to look at, the following year to start investing.
I would almost say, though, you look at the 2 this year, because we said we had 10. So we look at the 2 this year. Next year, we won't have this pool issues and all that, so then you can probably really, after the, look
Oh,
and say,
might be able to
well,
get 4 next year.
the 4 in the year after,
Yeah.
and do it that way, but just.
Yeah.
that's only bringing us down,
Okay, no, that's actually good if we, sorry. if someone's
Okay.
still
What is
talking.
that?
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
If we brought, if we took one of the $47,000 HVACs out, that brings that total down to 94, which means it brings the grand total down to 1,515,000.
All right,
But I thought the 2 were, that they're gonna replace with the more expensive ones.
We're still
Yeah,
going
that
to
might
do 2, we're not going
Well,
to
The
do 3.
2,
Truthfully, I wouldn't, because they're not, the ones that are like this one here, we've had out here replacing boards on for the one that fits this room, and it multiple times, so.
we took off the shade
This,
structure,
like,
that's not gonna.
some of these smaller ones, I think, would probably be better than the big ones, because the big ones seem to be going still. We haven't had
I
too many
know,
problems
I
with those.
know.
All right, sold.
What is it?
I'm sold, Jennifer.
1,515,000.
Okay, I'm okay.
But did we get the? did
I'm
we-
okay with that. I don't want to,
Everything
again.
except for one of the.
I don't want to take away anything else.
We didn't get the pickleball courts, though?
No.
Nope.
so
money.
Sorry, we could try.
can I just throw a little thing in about the pickleball courts, just a little nugget? I talked to SCI today as far as how park development fees can be used. I asked about the pickleball courts. Would converting 1 tennis court to 4 pickleball courts be considered a new facility? And it's a little gray, but because we're increasing capacity, and it is technically a different sport, it does qualify. But you're also taking away,
From other new stuff.
let's say, one facility that serves 4 players at a time, to convert to four facilities that basically accommodate 16 total players. 75% of that project would qualify for park development fees.
That's not
I
bad.
mean, we can put it at the back end, right? We can say, no?
Right.
Well, I mean, we could say we'll do it, but it depends on
yeah,
all the other
because
projects.
we still have to look at in the future at playgrounds.
Yes,
We have
I-
Oak and Filbert, and we have Almond that are coming up.
Yeah.
But those are different
I think
funds.
we, I
Right.
think we,
Different funds.
I think where we're at is good.
Yeah,
I do
I
too,
say,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
For us to be in agreement right
Another-
now.
Another thing to consider is
6 minutes,
is
that's darn good.
managing all those projects in one fiscal year, too, you know,
Right,
there's,
that's a
there's
lot,
there's
right?
that,
That's a lot to do.
yeah.
I mean, we've been lucky with our roof,
And
knock
our
on
AC.
wood, and our
Yeah.
HVAC, yeah.
All right, so what are we?
We've been lucky.
determined we're gonna do the roof, 2 of the units here. And what we decided, I would prefer that we put the pickleball courts on it, but at the very end.
Yeah.
If there's any money,
Well,
No,
because we're,
Well, like he said, though, there's,
There is still.
we'll bring this to the finance committee, we'll prioritize based on tonight's meeting.
it could be an updated budget at the next round. but this
Right.
is our preliminary budget, so this is going in our preliminary budget at the 1.5 million, right? So
I mean,
do
we're
we have the
celebrating
budget, the
40 years
preliminary
in
to
this building.
approve tonight, right? With this
Right.
sliding
So
in?
we've
Or is that
lucked
next
out.
month?
No, that's
No,
not-
next month. June. Preliminary in June, final in
So
August.
we'll discuss it at the finance
right.
committee.
Okay.
Finance committee meeting, May 19th.
This was like the easiest.
So, but we are,
Prioritization, I know usually
So-
we're,
so we're gonna,
Alright.
we are gonna at least temporarily put the pickleball courts
Yeah.
on there.
no.
Oh.
I don't think it
no.
made the cut, but
said
it'll be, if other funds become available, if the pool costs less,
Maybe we'll get a grant.
maybe we'll get a grant.
What's that?
We never discussed the pool bathroom, the floors and the pool.
Right.
Oh, can we,
How
Horrendous.
did this come in?
The
we
horrendous.
should adjourn this.
Yeah, those should beat out.
And then we
the-
can start.
Q.
We're going to take a break, we're not
I want to make sure
adjourning.
the total I'm giving
'cause
them is
we're-
correct.
It's an
Barry,
intermission.
Yep.
Jason and
Or the Q,
Marissa have-
flooring for the pool.
Yeah, flooring for the pool is, we're gonna have a brand-new pool, and then they're gonna be going into a
Nasty old bathroom.
nasty bathroom floors.
15.
We put 15,000 in there, we're hoping it's less than that, but that's,
Well, you got a choice. You give up an HVAC or a floor.
yeah.
These are from the pickleball.
It's an epoxy that might not cost all that much.
I would rather see you get a floor than a pickleball, but
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
me
want
too.
to,
Yeah,
So,
you know,
now it's due for a
We should add the
resurfacing, we're gonna push that back for a year then?
Yeah, I mean, we can, I mean,
Well,
we,
that could be the, one of the if then. If the
Wait,
pool is less, then we do the floor.
there we go.
Right, if we save money
Yeah.
in the pool.
I have a
There you
question.
go.
Lauren.
See?
A question, on the pool, you mentioned epoxy in lieu of a tile floor. And I have epoxy in my garage.
right.
Actually, I was,
It lasts forever, it's tough, it's perfect, and
slip-
it's not that expensive.
Slippery,
Slip proofs, is it,
Slippery though.
But I
unless you
think,
put that
And with
grainy
water,
stuff in it.
yeah, I
was
think
following-
if you can wash it with that material that makes it a little less slick. But it is lasting and it does cover and it's not that expensive.
I was following in a truck on the way here that does that, and I called them, I gotta set up a time for them to come out and do an estimate on it.
Okay?
That's what they do.
because-
They do it like that. They do a commercial, but they also have other additives to make it more non-slip.
Yeah.
I think it's
And-
four
And that's
across
both
it, yeah.
bathrooms?
The whole floor. I
whole
want to do
floor.
the whole floor.
And
Right,
it's easy to do, it's a one-day
Bathroom to
job,
bathroom.
okay.
and it works.
Yeah, we can see
it
what
seals
other
cracks.
facilities also have in terms of that kind of
Right, go
material.
Yeah.
so
see 'em,
that
yeah.
We can see how it has worked.
All
for
right,
them.
so
We're
Yep.
going to take a break?
take a break?
are we gonna, then this is gonna go to the finance committee?
Yes, well-
And then from there, it's gonna go back to the board in May?
No,
In June.
June's gonna be the prelim budget.
The prelim
So
budget.
this is gonna fit into the prelim budget.
And if,
Way
in
to
the
go,
meantime,
Kate.
we wanna have another workshop, I would say a workshop to just explain the roofing, the solar, that type of thing would be
Right.
helpful.
Right. We put it in the budget, but we still don't know what alternative we're using to pay for it. Right now, it's just out of our pocket.
Yep,
It could change.
it could.
And then we could find some other stuff.
And who
that-
knows, we might be able to get that pickleball in here after we get
You
the
know,
floor.
We
Yep.
might.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
All
let's
right, so
just-
do we
let's just-
adjourn
let-
for
Break for
So we're not
intermission?
adjourning, we're just breaking.
breaking?
Taking a break.
Break.
Key.
Sure, can I water my sandwich?
Well, till 6:30.
Ken, are you ready for a sandwich?
And then can you turn off
Turn off the
Ken,
mics,
should we turn off
please.
our microphones?
the microphones and the video while
Let's
we
turn them
eat?
off.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to go back up to public discussion, and anybody else wants to speak, that anybody,
No, I didn't hear
spoke
from
anybody?
anybody that they
all
were.
right. And we've completed item 6, the budget workshop, and we'll go on to item 7, minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes that are presented for the regular meeting of March 16th, 2023.
A second?
We have a motion, a second. All right. Anybody have any corrections or any comments? Then we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention. I think we were all here. Yeah, we're all here. That's good. All right. 8A, correspondence, attorney's billing. Can I get a motion to
I move
approve?
we approve the attorney's billing for March.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Well, individual vote, excuse me.
Personnel, or person, how do you say that? Personnel, right?
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Grunberg,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Montez, yes.
8B adds an Orangevale view.
Yeah, the ads in the 2 March issues of The View, promoting our programs and events. And then item C is an article in the Orangevale View about the History Museum moving into the cottage, which they officially did on April 1st.
And now they have, it's in their control, I guess. It's not in their possession because it's still ours.
Yes, it's in their control. The lease was signed, no problem there. They paid their lease to us this week, and they've got a couple projects. They're already doing some improvements inside.
Now, correct, now the bill for the energy is going to go to them, or does it come to us and then we?
Correct. No, it's going to them. The PG&E and SMUD go directly to them, as well as the county utilities. And then there's a couple other bills that go to us, like the water, that we're going to have to divide and invoice them separately.
All right, then that's, okay.
And the last article is also in the View from the Orangevale History Project about Pecan Park.
And then my only comment about that one was that we had I wasn't at that meeting, but we had a meeting for the new updated master plan, and we had a very good crowd, so hopefully they'll follow up on that article with it wasn't a negative article, but it seemed like there was only 6 people there, whereas the meeting we had a few years later, there must have been 50, 60 people there.
Yeah. What Mike's referring to is they talked about an initial master plan meeting for Pecan Park with only a few people that showed up.
Right.
And then Jennifer, when we had the master plan meeting 5 years or so ago, there were quite a few people there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, all of them. We had,
They were,
It was big.
very excited. I bet you were there,
I
right?
was there.
So the district has made a lot of progress in
Right.
40 years.
Okay, we're on the 9 consent items. Can I get a motion to accept?
We accept the consent items, item 9.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. It's a money item, so we have to vote in.
Sternberg,
Yes.
Montez, yes. President,
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Merez.
Yes.
Okay, then we're on to
10A.
non-consent item 10A.
I move we ratify the claims for March, page 28, item 10.
I'll second that. So we have a motion and a second.
Okay, Montez, abstain. President,
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Merez.
Yes.
Brumberg.
Yes.
All right, 11, finance and administration meeting, standing committees. A,
Meeting next month.
we're meeting, the 19th, and then, do we know what time are we gonna,
That's Friday.
that's a Friday that we do.
I can meet in the morning, my Friday mornings are open.
Great. Is 10 o'clock good?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Works. Maintenance and operation, you had the meeting, you want to recap it, or?
Yeah, we recapped a lot of it during this
That
workshop.
was a lot.
It was a really good meeting, and it really helped prepare me for tonight, for the workshop.
All right, rec committee, no meeting, you guys, government, nothing, okay, planning. We're gonna meet on the 24th, I believe,
It's the 26th
26th.
Friday the
Oh, that's right.
26th.
That's right, because
at 10 o'clock
All right.
at Disc Golf.
when we're gonna meet by the Rolling Wood,
We're going to start here at Disc Golf, and then we'll go to Rolling Wood after.
okay, look at the devastated forest, I believe is how I'm gonna describe it. But we'll see, we'll look at that. All right, so it'll be the 26th
10 a.m.
at the,
Disc golf.
Yeah, at Final Nine at the picnic shelter there.
all right, and will they be there, or?
Bruce Nisley, who runs Final Nine, is not going to be there. He's on vacation. But Casey Burgess, who runs the
All right.
the club, he'll be there.
And I think we're only gonna discuss like 4 of the holes, maybe, or this general,
Yeah, what I asked them is to provide us with, some projects that are high on their list, and we'll come with projects that are high on our list, and then we can talk about those and kind of determine what we can do,
all right?
what the club's willing to help with.
26th at 10 o'clock. All right. 12A, administrative report.
Yeah, so on March 17th, I met with Veronica Thorley, and she's with Sacramento County Department of Regional Parks. And we spoke about COVID-19 relief funding through the American Rescue Plan Act. We were notified by Sue Frost's office about a year ago that there was likely going to be some additional COVID funding available to us. And it was delayed, and we weren't sure there for a while, and then the application came out. And so I met with Veronica to go over the application. It was a bit confusing, and she was very helpful. And Jennifer and I completed that application a few weeks ago, submitted it, and we're hoping to hear back probably by early May. And if we're fortunate, which I'm feeling pretty confident that we will be, it's going to be about $200,000.
So will it be in our pockets before the fiscal year, or we don't know?
That's our hope, is that it
So if
goes
that's
into...
the case, we'll have money that we can add to or take away from what we're spending?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
Is there any
I believe it'll
stipula-
go towards the general fund, so we can spend it as we feel
So
needed.
there's no stipulations how we can spend it or have
I don't
to?
think so. There wasn't with the last one, but the last one was a different pool of money, but reading through the application, there was no restrictions.
Okay, so we potentially could get another $200,000 before the fiscal year,
Yes.
and then we'll talk about it when we get it.
HVAC system, maybe?
Well, no, we could
I
just,
wouldn't count our chickens on it
no,
coming
I
that
wouldn't,
fast.
I would not add anything to it, but would just take away from some of
It takes
some of
long.
our costs. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Yep. And then, March 21st, myself and Horacio met with Dan McCready and Richard Jones from Garland Company. They inspected our community center roof. They shared concerns and likely reasons for the leaking. They have since sent us a report with really good photos that shows the roof bowing and lifting on the edges, which is allowing water to come through during windy rain conditions. They also included the kids' corner roof. Really good photos and explanations as to why that's in need of being replaced. And we're having them look at the youth center building and building two other buildings that we've had some concerns about.
I have a question on the kids' corner roof. Is it possible to get a metal roof or the new overlay, they look like shingles, but they're particles, they slide over the other? Is that roof compatible for maybe something like that? Looks like a more permanent and easier roof to not leak, I guess.
Right, right.
And it's not heavy. That's what the
The $40,000 that they quoted is for a shingle roof.
shingle roof, okay.
So I don't know if there would be a cost difference to the good or to the bad.
So maybe before, if you could do a little research and ask them what the options are as far as the metal roof or
Yeah, because they're not,
whatever. I mean, we'll just,
yeah, it used to be based on weight, but now they're made with different materials, they're not as heavy.
but I was thinking, you're talking about just like metal though.
Yeah, that's,
Anyway, just give us some options, but
Yeah, we can see the alternatives and the cost as well, because,
Yeah.
I mean, it varies. If you put shingles versus a metal roof, it's a
yeah, and they have
cost.
4x8 sheets of
anyway, just give us,
something that look like shingles.
just give us some
So
options
it's
as
like,
far,
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll look at the options.
and just,
Great.
all right?
Then on March 22nd, Horacio, Jason, and myself met with a team from Sysco Energy Solutions to review energy analysis that they conducted. They provided us with their findings, and that's where we learned a lot about the different funding options, if we go with solar, how quickly it'll benefit us before we start, go from the red into the black. The power purchase agreement versus taking a loan out, the pros and cons of those options.
Now, is that gonna be on the finance committee agenda?
I can add it to the agenda, yeah, that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's look at it,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea,
That we'll just
yeah.
at least discuss it, give us
Right.
something we can bring back to the board afterwards.
Right.
All right?
And then on March 23rd, I had a Zoom meeting with Andrew Clark of Q-Star Technology, and it's a product that Fair Oaks District is using, and some of you may have seen it. If you enter a construction site or some places that are closed after dark, there's a camera and there'll be a speaker that says you are intruding on whatever, private property. And it takes extremely vivid photos that helps you identify people, identify license plates and cars. And it's about $8,000, but it's also portable. So if you have a problem area, like our restroom buildings at Oak and Filbert, you can mount it on a light pole 15 feet up, and it'll help. It's helped a lot of agencies deter those
And I'm
problems.
thinking about, we probably need something similar to that when we get the new driveway trail. And I don't know if we're gonna have gates so they can't go down there, or,
Right. Yeah, it's about 8,000 per unit. The more units you get, of course, the less it costs, but
all right,
it's something to consider. Because currently, we had that chlorine theft a year and a half ago or so.
Right.
And our images were useless. You know, what we were able to pick up were not helpful.
so, right now, the chlorine is stored, most of it's stored across the street, and then we bring it over here?
We cannot have more than certain amounts on areas that are not designated for. Our plan does not allow us that, so, our chlorine is bought as we can, meaning like 1 pail per site, and then we just keep it down there. But we reinforce the gate.
But is our security better now then?
Yes.
Okay, because they drove down there and they cut the lock or whatever, and,
Right. It's more secure, but our surveillance equipment is not better.
Yeah.
well, then we need to, but
200,000, if that comes, there you go.
There you go.
Well, and that's one of the reasons I met with this.
all right,
Yeah. And then, March 29th, Jason Horacio and I and Doug met with Marha Bruner with the Farmers Market, Don Morris and David Shepard of Rotary to discuss the shade at the stage. And, yeah, so we think there's going to be some funding available through Rotary, just like they did for us last year with the fitness equipment.
right now, we're only committing to paying $5,000.
Yeah, they have local Rotary, plus there's a match from national, and then whatever that doesn't cover, they'll need to find others to contribute. So I put 5,000.
Maybe the chamber or the farmer's market could help contribute.
Yes, and they will be. They'll be doing a GoFundMe, and they already started
All
something,
right,
so,
'cause
so, yeah. I just put 5,000 as,
Right, well,
just in
that's-
case. So, yeah, that's my report, and we'll go on to recreation.
Recreation, we're getting busy. It's coming.
Yep.
Water, we had lifeguard training class, I had 17 kids in there.
we
We've
had
got
what, 17?
17 kids in the lifeguard training.
Wow.
We've got rummage sale this weekend. Weekend after that, we have our open house. And then in May, we'll have the craft fair. And then by that time, we'll be super exhausted and we'll be right into summer.
The 40th celebration.
So when does the pool starts, what, May 1st or something, or swim?
Well,
team?
like we saw earlier, they had Sunsplash down there and they were doing their trainings. We'll have swim clinics starting next week. And then the May 1st, I think it's first Monday of May, swim team will get going. And that pushes all the way till June till we open for lessons and everything else.
That's awesome.
And
I love this time of year.
you temporarily repaired the leak?
Seems pretty strong now. I mean, it
Yeah,
looks
we,
good.
given the conditions, we had to get something that was for call applications and wet applications. So we were able to fix it and clean it and have it ready.
So
So
after they
that
do
took quite a bit
the,
of effort to get it through.
after they
so.
do their replastering and repairs, we shouldn't have to do this again for,
I certainly
Well,
hope so.
they're supposed to be pulling that whole section out, cutting it out.
Okay.
And reapplying rebar, reconcrete, and do all that, so, yeah, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't gonna
Right.
fix it.
at least for a couple of decades.
Say 15 years down the line, it's someone else's problem.
Right, yes. Maybe sooner than that. All right.
But yeah, other than that, we're still doing good, we're still right in there, what, 15,000 above projection, so.
The new pump's working okay still?
Yep, still working okay.
It survived a
It
little
survived
dunk.
And in the
Bath.
long run, we're gonna replace the heating system or
the
the heating,
The broiler down
the
there.
boiler's still as is.
I think that eventually it's something we gotta do, because again, gas isn't getting cheaper and the newer
Right.
units are more efficient,
all right,
but,
let's roll on.
let's fix it first.
Yeah.
Let's get that one totally done, so before we have to worry about it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, so, yeah, other than that,
Barry, anybody, what else we're going on?
Parks? Marcia, you want to?
Well, we were able to get our first mow in after the rainy season, so everything got mowed. We still have a wet area down at Pecan for some reason. I mean, Pecan Almond.
The very
Down
bottom.
at the end of the hill. I don't know if
Right.
it's happened in the past.
No, it's always,
It's just
when I used to walk there, you'd get down to the very bottom and it was.
right towards the bottom, but kind of in the middle where the last trees
Yeah.
are down there. So
Yeah, it's always damp.
that's the only area that we have not been able to mow because of how wet it is. Tree at Pecan got cleaned up already. So Pecan is back online now. We just finished doing the last touch-ups down there, just kind of picking up any
And you're gonna
debris.
patch the park, the drive, where the one tree fell, the one pine, that's. not-
That's next, yes, we just
When it gets a
had
little
a
warmer.
week of no rain, well, a little, 2 weeks, going on 2 weeks now, so we just have to work with a contractor so they can get it. We already got our quotes in, so that we can take care of that. And also, we added soil to the area where the farmer's market is gonna be, waiting for it to settle down and threw some seed on there to see how much comes back. Down at, the fence at Green Oaks Elementary, over 100 feet of fence or so, we're repaired now. We were able to get in there with our equipment and get the fence in, so.
What
we're able
fence
to-
is this?
It's that white,
It divides the school and the
Yeah.
park?
Oh, yeah.
Green- Yeah.
And how about the electrical? Did we get,
I met with the electrician down there, and he will be providing a quote.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on that, so
Okay.
whenever he gets it,
And
he'll
then,
let us know what the cost is, and I asked for what I thought were the necessities based on the needs of our renters as they come along. Because if we redo that entire thing, it's gonna cost
yeah,
us a
don't need
lot,
to,
so.
we don't need to redo it, but.
Which is,
but correct me if I'm wrong, Barry, you signed the contract with the concrete guy?
yes. Yeah, I think that's
So-
on the agenda.
Yeah.
yeah, and apart from that, just taking care of basic maintenance and other things that come up throughout the month, so.
And have you turned your sprinkler system on yet, or not? No.
Not yet. We're waiting
For another
till
week of,
probably next week. We're just gonna be in the mid to low 70s.
Yes.
right,
We're gonna have a little dip in the. I mean, the weather is gonna get to the 60s again. We're saving in water, so that's
Yes.
what we care
I
about
know,
now.
I
But
know.
we love the rain. If it rains again, then hallelujah.
well, most of the reservoirs are above 100%, which is good, which is a good
And
thing.
That's great.
so, and we're in the process of purchasing a used vehicle right now. So we'll finalize here that soon. So we lost one of our older trucks, the 97. So we're replacing it. So
That's on here too.
that's on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Money? This is the chart?
Yeah, yeah.
Jason, want to talk about that, or is that
You
you?
already did, right?
Jason.
What's up?
You talked about the,
Your chart.
He just,
My chart, we're going backwards, okay?
All right, no, that,
No, I mean, we're doing well still. I mean, we had a bad month, I guess, this year, but because we had a lot,
it all
facilities
depends.
always catches up, and you have deposits that go back, and so at some point you get great, but you're gonna have to give money back, so that's why we kinda had to hit this one, but we're still doing well. Like I said, 15,000
15,000
over projected right now, so. And it's gonna be interesting, because we're coming into April, but that's where we're gonna start with our open house, and when we get a big chunk of money coming in,
They're signing up.
which, it'll probably show in May, truthfully, you're right,
All right,
yeah. So.
and then our report from the Fulton El Camino Police, pretty non-eventful.
It looked pretty good.
In the photos, tree removal at Pecan Park, and swimming pool. The the patchwork repair for that crack one last time. And the pool is clean. So, good news.
And like, Jennifer, are you still processing new people, or we're all caught up?
Oh, they're just barely beginning to come in. I mean,
Okay.
They're still doing their interview, so. In fact, I don't think I've had anyone new. We've just had a couple returning to.
Well, I'm not thinking of all the lifeguards, or is
I
that?
just got done with
Not
that
yet.
class, so I haven't even
Yeah, not yet.
All right.
ventured into trying to set up interviews for them, maybe next week or so, but yeah.
All right,
It'll happen.
so we're on to no unfinished business. 14A,
Yeah.
so this is to set up the correction.
Pool is at 80.
I move we approve resolution 23-04-701, resolution authorizing 2022-23 final budget amendment for Fund 332A, General Fund.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion?
Nope.
And this will meet Larry's criteria. All right, so let's vote.
President,
Yes.
Stickney,
Yes.
Rez,
Yes.
Grunberg,
Yes.
Montez, yes. 5000.
All right, 14B, retroactively approve the agreement.
I move we retroactively approve the agreement with Exclusive Exteriors for removing and replacing damaged sections of concrete at the Orangevale Community Park, with the total cost being $22,535.
I'll second that motion.
All right, we have a motion, a second, discussion. So it's gonna, do you have any idea when he's gonna, a couple of weeks from now, or?
May. He's going to have it started and ended in May, is what he's saying.
All right,
Yeah, he'll let us know. He'll have his May schedule to us probably in another week or so.
all right,
Stickney,
yes.
Merez.
Yes.
Grunberg,
Yes.
Montez, yes. President,
Yes.
5000.
Okay, big day of service.
Yay.
Yeah, I wanted to just share with you the projects that are proposed and likely going to happen, provided we have enough volunteers. And I encourage you all, if you would like to volunteer, just go to,
I would, but I'll be in Ireland.
BigDayofService.com.
that's right, bigdayofservice.com.
Not no.
Choose
No,
the
no.
project and sign up. And it's that
Years
easy.
in the making.
And with the sign up, you get a breakfast, a
T-shirt.
T-shirt, and a lunch after, if you like.
That's
So-
quite a bit.
And all that for
And
about
it's-
2 hours of getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, but it's
make it
warm and
three.
fuzzy. It's a good time.
It is. It's a real good
really
feeling.
is just a good day.
Yeah.
It really is.
I had
So,
a thought, because one of the areas was gonna be across the street planting trees. You may wanna talk to Orangevale Pony Ball, or not Pony Ball, but Little League. Since they use it, hey, why don't you guys come out and help plant a couple of trees?
Right, good idea.
I didn't see a dollar amount. Is that
For which
something
one?
we don't know
Yeah,
yet?
we should.
Well,
that-
in the agenda, it says
Saturday baseball games.
Didn't we budget for whatever we were gonna,
allocate funds to support them. Do we need to do a motion on how much we're going to contribute to these?
Oh,
programs?
yes, I think is that now?
Yeah, I didn't see a dollar amount on page, what is it?
Oh, yeah, there is not,
57.
but we're asking for, we figure we can do it for 6,000.
since we do this every year, do we need to put it in as a budget item, that we put some money in?
the hard
Starting
part
into
is,
it?
is that sometimes we may not be doing it every year, but we can.
It
Well,
seems like it's maintenance
Yeah.
money. It's in our maintenance budget.
I think if we put in 6,000 a year,
yeah,
would be a good idea.
I can't remember the last 4 or 5 that we haven't had, maybe,
So,
Yeah, we did. We skipped a couple years, actually, but,
I
and then
thought,
we
yeah.
painted,
maybe
then we
with
painted.
COVID,
Yeah,
whatever.
but,
We can put, I would like to put it as a budget item, even if we don't spend it, then it's,
yeah,
I move we allocate $6,000 to fund the big day of service projects with the Park District.
I will second that.
all right. Any further discussion? Sounds like a good number to,
Yeah.
I don't think we spent more than that, so let's vote.
Okay, Merez,
Yes.
Grunberg.
Yes.
Montez, yes. President,
Yes.
Stickney.
Yes.
Okay, 5000.
Thank you. That's great.
D, purchased a used S10.
You want to talk about that? Our new truck?
Well, we found a low mileage little truck that is good for our guys to get into the parks and start using it. I'm thinking about using it for irrigation, just dedicate that for irrigation. We don't have one that is for that, has 80,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow, that's low.
That's low. So, went, look at it, try it out, and took Lucas, who does a lot of mechanics, and he liked it, so we're hoping to get in our fleet.
Awesome.
All right, so that was just an update, right? We don't.
It's just an update.
Yep.
All right, 14E swimming pool project, looked,
Yeah, actually have some good news. So Greg Fowle has kindly agreed to produce the front-end documents for us, which are needed for the formal bid packet for a project this large. And Greg already began working on those this week, and he and I are going to meet tomorrow to review the progress that he's made, and he's got, a few holes that need to be plugged in by information that I have. So those are moving along. I also want to thank Cordova Recreational Park District, who shared their front-end documents for 2 recent pool projects that they've done. So it gave us, a more current template. Greg is also preparing the contract documents, which we'll have reviewed by legal counsel. So some pretty big steps there.
Okay.
And then the scope of work, specifications, and drawings are already to us from Aquatic Design Group. Then these are going to be combined with the front-end documents for our formal bid packet.
and so this part should be done by the May meeting,
I think it will be,
and then we'll,
provided our legal counsel can get to it.
right.
Yep.
And then, so we're not gonna, are we gonna have to vote anything, or we're just, you're just gonna put it out to bid then after that?
Yeah, it would be good to get board approval on the bid packet. I would appreciate that. I can bring that to the board. I don't know how that's been done in the past, if it's been a special meeting or,
Yeah.
No, I think we,
That big.
I think we've already discussed it enough.
So
well, I mean,
know
we
what it
can put
is.
it on the agenda, and hopefully it'll be all, the
agree with
packet
you,
will be
Manny.
there, and we'll have our lead attorney here.
right,
We'll look to her for guidance.
sounds good.
I think that's how we've done it past.
Yeah.
Good,
We've
good.
always, I mean,
And then when it comes down to opening the bids, then we do that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so you'll bring it to us, and we'll say, okay, good, you- the blessing, and then you can
Great.
put it out to bid, and then hopefully we'll have it open by the June meeting. That would be the hope.
Yep.
I think they're gonna need more than a month to put their bids together.
Well,
Usually give them a month.
A month, that's all.
we can put it out and give them 30
Yeah, they
days,
might-
and if
they
we, if we,
might- they
if we
might
don't,
say, yeah,
hopefully
extend it.
we'll get several bids, and if we don't, we can extend it, but,
We'll schedule a mandatory pre-bid walkthrough as
That's
well.
true,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and Aquatic Design will be with you on that walkthrough, I'm assuming?
yes.
All right.
That's on their list.
So it looks like it's falling into place finally.
Yep, that's falling into place.
Okay. So E, F,
Driveway trail project, very similar report there. So the county received our application that we submitted last month. It's passed their first screening, and then the county expects to have the next review finished by May 1st. And hopefully, we get our permits and everything's good. There's a chance that they'll say, hey, we need a couple additional things. So that's good
it'll be
news.
on the same time?
Yeah,
So
they're
should
on.
we put it on, we'll have it on the agenda for board review along with the pool in the May meeting?
There's a chance they'll both be ready at the same time.
Right, well, let's put it on the agenda and then we can,
Yep.
It's gonna be a very
Long.
lengthy agenda.
Well,
It might be.
well, I don't know about that.
At least it's on the agenda, so if we don't hear it, it's on there anyway, so.
Right, so we'll put that on, that'll be on for next,
Great.
Yeah, we don't have to worry
Yeah, we'll
about
add it.
and
We
then,
have to push it, we
another
push it.
meeting.
well, and if we need to do it, a special meeting in June to do anything, we can do that too,
Okay.
but
Sounds good.
we'll assume that everything will be falling, and we'll,
But Greg is also helping with the front-end documents on this project, so he's doing them both at the same time.
all right, and
And also, one last thing, Peter Larimer, our landscape architect with MTW, who created the plans for that project, he's provided the specifications through drawings, but not in written form, so he's providing us with those, which we also need for the front-end documents. We need that, the scope of work in writing.
and my only concern is make sure we have all the add-ons that we want.
Right.
And I think Horacio had a good idea on, there's one section of the parking lot down there that needs to be by a drainage thing. When we were walking with Manny,
The new property?
Over that palm tree.
you said there was a,
Oh, we're talking about, yeah, I don't know if we want to include that in that project.
When they're
well,
paving.
if they're bringing their equipment to
I mean,
do a driveway, then they'll have the,
If we would like to spend some monies on fixing that particular area, it is washing off a little bit. I was gonna do a little
whatever.
repair, but I can discuss that with Barry and
Right,
and
you
see
can decide if you want it as
what
an
can be,
add-on.
Done if
See what
we
makes sense.
feel that the whole area needs to be, redone, then we can add that in there.
Bring it back
Nonetheless,
to us.
it will
it's an add-on,
add
so.
funding
if
for
we-
other things.
All right, I want to bring that up now, so
Okay, yeah,
since we're going to put it
reasonable.
out to bid, we can say we want it done, and then we can say, well, that's one we're not going to do.
Yep,
All right?
okay.
Anything else on the,
Nothing else on that?
so we're still shooting for May and then June? All right.
Yep,
It's gonna be a busy
Our
spring.
Triple Creek,
yeah. Arcade Cripple Creek Trail. The timeline shows the trail construction within Sundance and String Parks was to have begun in March. It didn't.
Yeah, the rain.
To be completed in July, it probably won't.
I drove by there the other day, and they were on the Temple Park side. They had all sorts of cones out, so there was nothing on our side, but I don't think they can really start till April 15th anyway, right? That's.
Yeah,
That's correct.
On the bridge.
On
yeah.
the bridge.
Right. Well,
But
even
the-
on the trail part.
I think you could start on the trail.
Yeah, it was
It's
the
not-
bridge that was the 15th.
Yeah, but the county already has work signs posted on Ouachita.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and they say by June 30th, so who knows?
Okay.
All right.
So at least they got the signage out.
Their website really indicates that they went on to other parts of the project that they could do during the
That
lousy
would make
weather.
sense. That would, yeah, go ahead and do that part and not wait.
Right.
So, did we ever get our fencing up by the,
They are starting it next week. They're going to start and finish it next week I just spoke with them today. So,
maybe we should have some signs that
I
Orangevale Park
needed to
District is
get-
doing this.
yeah,
I needed to get that contractor's name
yeah. That's a good idea.
All right,
for my
That'd be
fence.
nice.
I have 150 feet.
How many
I
years?
remember you saying
7?
that, a fence contractor that we're using.
Yes.
I'll
Need to
include that
reach
in my
out.
And also,
notes.
just so you know, there's still no timeline for the construction of those fences in the people's backyards.
And
So that hasn't come up yet.
all right, so then we're on to 14H.
contract.
I don't have a feeling whether it should be live streamed or not, so.
I possibly may not be in attendance.
Yeah, that's right, you're going to be,
I might be in Texas, yeah.
I don't think there's anything spectacular going on that we
May-
need to have a,
You just have a lot added to it.
Well, we might have
oh,
we can pool
contracts. but
contracts, but
potentially the contracts, but,
That's boring stuff.
yeah,
And that's
I'll be
been-
back,
not as
so
exciting as
we'll,
budget.
we'll have 4 board members.
Great.
To make life a little easier.
I know I won't be at the June meeting.
oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, that's Palooza.
okay, yep.
All right, and that's when we'll That's when we'll be rewarding contracts, so.
I,
Problem. Whatever.
So is a vote to.
So do we
don't?
want the live stream or not?
It might be a good month to take off.
All right, okay.
And Mr. Benedict can refresh my memory. I know there's a couple months where he's
What about the
unavailable.
June meeting? Is that going to be, the June and July are the
Is
ones?
June one of the meetings that you're unavailable?
That's probably one.
June's, yeah,
That's the third Thursday?
yep.
Okay. So we won't have it live streamed in
Say
June.
13th or 15th?
15th.
Or what about May? Did we decide we wanted it?
May, probably not.
All right, okay, so that's fine.
For a couple months.
All right. All right, so we're done with that one, correct? Comments, Jennifer,
You may beat your record.
it says directors and staff. I always start with staff first.
Yeah, all is good. I have nothing new to report.
Okay. Horacio,
Well, we welcome the sun.
right.
I can tell you that. But also the rain. No, just getting ready for what's coming. I know that as soon as the sun comes out, everything grows, and we have to do a little bit of catch up because it seems that when people come out, they start to see things and usually get reports, and we attend them to them, and
It's been a strange year. It's been
yeah,
a
it
lot
has been
cooler
a
than
little
I'm used
prolonged.
to.
And
Well, let's
looks like
knock on wood that it keeps that way even through the summer months.
It
Yeah,
won't go all the way
We
to
could use a
the end of
cool
this
summer.
month in a
That's
decent
okay.
weather, so.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I
So,
was listening to Channel 3, and the guy said 2006 was similar to this year, and it was cool the whole summer.
yes, it
So
was.
hope it
maybe
was.
we'll have a cool summer,
Interesting.
or relatively cool.
I bet you that was when we had holidays and it was 82 degrees.
Yeah.
And just
Mother's Day
thanks to
weekend.
all the guys that are hanging in there, taking care of business, and the other departments that also back us up in certain things that are needed, so
Very cool.
that is appreciated.
But at least the next couple of weeks, it's not going to be super hot, so you'll be able to catch up a little bit.
70s,
Yeah, good, that's a good deal.
That's perfect weather.
yeah, it is, until we
All
get
right,
used to the
Jason,
heat.
starting you.
All right, well, most I could say is till we see you next time. Rummage sale this weekend. Open house the weekend out on 22nd. And then May. 13th. No, the craft fair is it's the 13th? Why did I think?
The 22nd, that's when we have
That's the open house.
Open house, that's when we have we have it down here by the activity building.
that's where we have all our class.
Yeah, we open up for that. You can get your swim lesson registration day camp before everybody else.
All right,
And, yeah, so that, and then craft fair on the 13th.
and that's building's big enough for that? or-
No, well, it's all outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
The
'Cause
inside for
that's why
registration.
when Horacio said rain, no, we don't do that anymore. We only have sunlight, sunshine.
We need a little rain.
Right.
We've had plenty. Sunshine.
Melissa, anything? Tennis classes,
Yeah, the
pickleball?
classes are going great. We've got some new summer programs, so when the activity guide comes out, definitely pay attention. We're building new senior programs as well, so we've got a lot of fun. We've got a theater program coming in summer, a youth theater program. Fingers crossed for future fun, too. Stretch Lab Roseville, we've got Zumba Gold for the seniors. We're currently working on building some balance classes for our seniors that are in need of that. Oh, I know, I'm forgetting someone else. Mushy Love is going to be doing a program with us as well. And I think a
I
couple
just
more.
I'm
Give-
so
give you
excited
a
about
heads
the
up, I-
theater.
I gave Barry a copy of the Antioch,
That guy.
Oh, good.
so
Okay,
you can
great.
see what it's similar to ours, but it's a little thicker, I guess, because it's bigger area, but,
Okay, nice.
so
Yeah, and
you can look at it and pull some ideas, maybe.
Here, but I-
Absolutely.
So excited.
Yeah, and our senior programs we've been building up with our sponsors. Luce Johnson just did two very important seminars with the seniors, a Money Smart and a financial program. Got a
Do we
big
do that
turnout.
up, do we do that up here, or do we do it down in the new buildings? or-
We do those here. at the
Okay.
moment. Our seniors know this location when we build the when we build the trail down to that, the pathway down to that area.
Driveway.
Driveway? Like there's a word.
What's the right verbiage?
Everything but a road.
Then we can consider, of course, more programming down there. It is a little difficult to get to, so with the
No,
seniors.
That's the
But
idea
yes,
of
the
putting it
goal
down.
would be to go down there someday. But again, that went wonderful. She got a great group. They went to multiple, so we're just getting started.
Yes,
So they're still doing the
That's
tax
awesome.
thing, or is it done?
It was great. They're going to have their last one tomorrow.
All right.
They use this room again. They're going to hopefully add back to the original amount of taxes, but we stayed full. We filled up before the end of January again. So it's been a huge benefit to our community. They stop by the window almost regularly and repeat of how much they appreciate the program and how useful it is.
All right. Barry, you want to add anything?
Well, you know, Mel's been amazing, and, you know, what she's been doing with
yes.
these programs and keeping things fresh and making sure we're addressing populations that, you know, our programs are low on. She's doing great stuff. And the activity guide, a lot of effort there. Mel takes the lead on that project, but, you know, the other rec staff and the admin staff contribute there as well. We're going to be bringing that to the board next meeting.
What's
to talk.
that?
The activity guide, whether to go digital instead of printing.
But we're still going to print out the little flyer, the little 8x10 or whatever,
Be in the
whatever it
conversation.
is.
Yeah, that would be part of the conversation.
All
Yeah.
right.
But anyway, major kudos and Jason as well for aquatics, getting the aquatic season kicked off and having such good numbers with the lifeguards and having space for them. Hopefully they'll join our team this summer. And also for his patience, and Horacio for his team for getting to the pool. The crazy winter definitely put us off on getting some of these things done in a more timely manner. So we were rushing to get that pool up and ready for Jason's aquatic season to start.
And I guess the water was warm enough or close enough.
Eventually.
Like a hot tub in there now.
All right.
But yeah, great
Lisa?
job by his crew. And I mentioned Jennifer earlier for helping me with the application for that funding, that potential funding, so.
So I guess, should we put that on the agenda for next month too? Let's put it on the agenda in case.
Tell you what, I'll put it on if it's good news. Or if I hear any news about it, I'll make
All
sure it's
right.
on.
Got the
Lisa?
long straw.
I don't,
You're not going to be at the.
I won't be at
The
the,
next two meetings, probably?
possibly. I'm not sure about my trip to Texas yet, but it's 80% that I'll be gone. But, yeah, and then the next month is Palooza,
Go to
so.
San Antonio, stay away from Dallas and Houston.
But thank the staff and everyone for all their hard work,
ran away.
especially when the challenging weather
The
and
lid.
climate and all that. So I appreciate everyone.
All right, Ariga, anything?
I'm gonna repeat, thanks to all the guys who are hanging in there and taking care
No
of
more
business.
Mises.
Perfect.
Any?
Nope.
All right,
Nothing
thank you.
here.
Moving along, Sharon?
Nope,
All right, have a nice time and,
Look at, he wants to
I don't
beat
go
us.
till next month. I'll
Well,
still be here one more meeting.
all right, and then, I guess I'll say whatever everybody else is. Thank for the staff, and it's been an interesting spring.
To say the least.
I move we adjourn.
I
All in
second.
All in favor?
Aye. I think that's gotta be one of our fastest ones.
Well, I did, yeah, 50 minutes and 7 hours, all right, what'd I say, all right.
That was good.